Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late today. Oh, hi, Becky. Glad you're here. Thanks for sharing my video, too. I appreciate that. Let me get my YouTube chat up, see if there's anybody over here. Oh, hi, Judy. Okay. I think I'm finally ready. There were a couple things I thought last minute. I forgot to do that, so I had to hurry up and rush and do it. So that's why I'm a couple minutes late. Excuse me. I think I'm going to be coughing for the rest of my life. It only happens when I start talking in a video for some reason. I think it just gets things dried up when I start talking. And the furnace is running today. It feels like winter today. I think the 70s that we had last week is totally gone. And I think fall temperatures might be gone. It feels like it anyway. Oh, hi, Mary Alice. Oh, you haven't been here for a while. I'm glad you're back. Welcome back. Oh, hi, Margaret. Glad you could come. I know you had a rough week with the elections and everything last week. Okay. I think I am ready. I hate it when I last minute think of something. It gets me all discombobulated. um, Today I'm starting something new. I'm going to be doing at least starting in January. I want to do at least 2 of these a month. We'll see what happens here in November and December. I probably will not do a live next week since that's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of you are going to be traveling or getting ready for Thanksgiving. So it's probably going to be a waste of time to do that. I'll probably be doing a live and nobody will be there. So unless I get a bunch of people telling me, oh no, I still want you to do the live, then I might be able to do it. We'll see. Oh, hi, Mary. Okay. Yep, I've said hi to everybody on YouTube. Glad you guys are all here. Um, so what I'm going to be doing, these are going to be free online classes that I'm just doing here in the live. So everybody gets to see the video tutorial. So that's for everybody. Now, if you place an order with me during, I think I've got something on here. Hold on. Every once in a while I'm here. There we go. Hopefully you weren't hearing any feedback. Had my tablet still turned up. Um, if you place at least a $40 order with me at my online store using a host code, let me show you that host code real quick. I think I've got it right here. Yes, the host code 446G7XUC. I've got that down below in the video description. And well, at least a link to all the information you need for my card class at home. If you place at least a $40 order, you will get the supplies to make these cards. So you'll be seeing that here in a minute when I start making the cards. So you'll get those free. If you place at least a $55 order, you'll get a full pack of the Rhinestone Basic Jewels, which is what I'm using on the cards. Actually, I'm using them on all 3 cards. And while I'm switching screens, let's go ahead. Oop, wrong one. Oh, I forgot to bring some cards over here. Hold on just a second. I'll leave that up so you can read that because today's the last day that you subscribe from my monthly online card club. So you can read about that while I'm getting something real quick. Okay, I'm back. I forgot about the door prize real quick. Now, since I'm doing this as a free class for everybody, everybody that's watching is getting that door prize. That I'm considering that a prize. Because usually I don't do online classes free like this. The video tutorials are usually exclusive. But this time I'm doing it different. But I still want to do the door prize for the people that watched last week. I put everybody's names in. These are my paper pumpkin alternatives from last week. So if you missed it, I'm sorry, but I had to cut off the comments at 11 o'clock this morning so I get everybody's names in. But I am still going to do one door prize for this class. So if you comment during the video, either watching live or recording, I'll put you in a drawing next week. Whenever I do my next live, probably 2 weeks from today. The 3 cards that I'm making today completed. So let's go ahead and I'm going to switch some screens around here. Here, there's one thing I forgot to do. Let me switch this before I make you guys look at weird things again. All right, doing things behind the scenes. We'll go to this screen because I know I'm going to get busy and forget to do the door prize, so we want to get that done. Okay, so everybody that watched last week, live or recording, got their names put in here that commented. So let's go ahead. I have to have you comment. That way I know you're on because I don't know everybody that's watching unless you comment. And the door prize is just for people that live in the United States per Stampin' Up rules. Paula Bringman, congratulations. I don't think you've won yet. So if you would either click the contact me link page in the video description, or if you're watching on Facebook, you can message me on Facebook. give me your mailing address, and I'll get these cards mailed out to you. So congratulations. So let me get this back. Come on. That never works the first time I click on it, and I don't know why. There we go. So congratulations. I'm glad you got those cards. I hope you like them. So like I said, this is going to be a free online class. Okay, now that I got the door prizes done, I can concentrate on what I really want to tell you about. So when you place a $40 order before shipping and tax using that host code, you'll get all the supplies to make the cards. Make 2 of each card. So you're actually going to get supplies to make 6 cards. And if you bump it up to $55, you get the rhinestones free. The only thing that I won't have included in the class is the Cottage Wreaths Bundle, of course. That's something, if you don't have it, you can either substitute it or purchase it. The ink pads, and you can get all this information, like I said, if you click on that card class at home link I've got below in the video description. And let's go ahead and go over. Oh, I showed you that. Make sure you subscribe to that by the end of the day. I've had some new people join. So if you're watching, you just joined. I'm glad you joined. Got a nice little group going for my card club. And next month will be something totally different. I'll let you know that when I get that figured out. I'm still offering, if you order the Fitting Florets collection from me in November, using a different host code. I've got to do different host codes for certain things. You can get a free online class from me. Now this one, the video tutorials will be exclusive to the people that purchase the collection. And you'll get the supplies to make 4 different cards and a PDF that gives you like the sizes and the supply list you need. And I've got to tell you about the sale in case you missed this. This annual seasonal sale is happening right now. And I don't think it's ever been this big before. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. But almost everything in the annual catalog is on sale. Now, the Holiday Mini, the July to December one, is not in the sale. But our big annual catalog, all punches are 10% off. All stamp sets, except for the host stamp sets at the back of the catalog. The rest of the stamp sets are 15% off. The dies are 20% off. The embossing folders are 20% off. And all non-special designer series paper is 20% off. And I should have added the word assortment. If I think they're talking about the ones that are like the color family assortments. Those are not in the sale. But all the other non-specialty designer series papers are on sale. So don't miss out on that. And make sure you use that host code. And I'll go over that again. That's for this class today. That way you're going to get a bunch of stuff at discounts and get my supplies to make my cards for free. Okay. Oh, did you spend too much on that sale already, Judy? I haven't done that yet. Oh, hi, Darlene. Glad you're here. Okay, since I've gone over all of that stuff, I think we can start making some cards. So I'm going to be using, let me show you the bundle. This is that Cottage Wreaths Bundle. Now, you do not have to have this. If you order from me, you do not, let me try to straighten my camera up a little bit. You do not have to have the bundle. You can always substitute it for something else. But per Stampin' Up! Rules, I can't do any of the stamping on the cards, on the supplies. I can give you everything die cut and embossed and cut out for you, and that I will do. And I will include the ribbon that I use on the cards too. And like I said, you'll have enough to make 2 cards each. And I just love this bundle. It is so pretty and it's so versatile. It covers Halloween, fall cards, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And I'm sure you can make different kinds of wreaths too. It doesn't just have to be for those either. Let me get my chat back up for YouTube. It keeps disappearing every time I change. There we go. I don't think I'll be changing screens for a while, so that now I'll see your YouTube comments. Okay, so let me put this to the side. And let's go ahead and start with, I'm also going to be using a couple other dies. So let me just show you the ones I'm going to use on the first card. I love these. These are the deckled rectangles dies. I love how they're have a little, it's like a torn edge effect for the rectangles. And the one that I use is the number 6 die. So whenever I say a number, I always start with the smallest ones and count. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the one I used right here. And I've already die cut it because I wanted you to see how the kit is going to look when you get it. So with the first card, this is what you'll get, and you'll get 2 of each. I'll already have the bows die cut for you. There's the deckled rectangle die. You're going to get a piece of ribbon And I'm not going to be giving you the sizes during this either, because I'll do a PDF with the directions also with the sizes for you. So and if you place an order with me, you'll get all the sizes. And this is a piece of the gingham cottage DSP. And you'll get a couple of these and a card base. So this is everything you'll get in that first card kit plus an envelope, but you'll get 2 of each since you have enough to make 2 cards. So let's go ahead. Now, those of you that are in my, that came to my Christmas Stamp Stack last week, you've already seen this card. Margaret has already seen this card because she's on my team, and this is something we did for a mystery stamp night that we did. I did a Zoom meeting with all my ladies, and this was the card we made. Oh, hi, Carol from Connecticut. Glad you're here. I bet it's cold in Connecticut, too. I've heard there's some snow going on over there. We had just a little spit and snow. First, I want to tell you, I have got to go to Onstage on Saturday. Had so much fun. They came to Indianapolis. We couldn't believe it. It was in the 70s, 60s and 70s all last week. The morning of Onstage, it was snowing. It wasn't supposed to do that, and we got almost 3 inches of snow. It was crazy. We couldn't believe it. We're like, oh, we hope they come back. But I think they will because we found out that Indianapolis had the largest number of people come. We had like 900 people there, and it was even more than the main on stage in Austria. So I thought that was kind of cool. But that's just a little side note. But it is cold. Oh, my goodness. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Ah, shoot. Oh, well, hopefully we won't be hearing a bunch of notifications. I thought, sure, I turned that off. Okay, so I'm using Garden Green ink. And I'm going to stamp this up here at the top, like so. And I could just stop right there. That's a pretty, I like the stamping this on crumb cake. Isn't that cool? Oh, thanks, Mary Alice, for sharing the video. I really appreciate that. And then I'm going to do this in Garden Green. And the thing I like about this stamp, see how it's got some leaves that are a little darker and some that are a little lighter? That's distinctive stamps. I love our distinctive stamps. And I'm just going to stamp this here on top. Hold that down. There we go. That just kind of put like a vine and made it a little fuller. So I liked that look. Now I'm going to grab, let's see here. Oh, I'm going to do the Merry Christmas. Now, if you saw the picture of my cards on my in my newsletter, this one is going to look a little different, because I showed the picture I did for my Stamp-A-Stack, but I'm almost out of the red gingham, so this time I kind of reversed some colors around so I could use the Garden Green. So I'm going to put this Merry Christmas down here near the bottom in the center. Okay, I'm also keeping it to the Cottage Wreaths stamp set. In my class, we used a different Merry Christmas, but I thought that one still looked good. Now I'm going to grab the bow. And I think I'm going to put this on first, and then I'm going to stamp the berries on. I think it's a little easier. That way you kind of know where you want to put your berries. So I'm going to grab some glue dots. You can also use your seal very, very easily. Get a hold of this. Put that on here. And I forgot to bring over I'm forgetting everything. I left my card over there. I'm going to have to go grab that here in a minute. Then I'm going to put this bow right down here. Now, one thing I wanted to do, this is going to be going on the back of this crumb cake, and I thought that really kind of made it so you couldn't see the deckled edges on this. So I'm grabbing my blending brush and crumb cake ink, so it's the same color as what the cardstock is. Do this here, and then I'm going to just sponge it. This is going to give more of a rustic look to it, which, to be honest, I think it has doing the stamping on crumb cake instead of white or vanilla definitely gives it that vibe. Okay, so now I've got, hopefully you can see that. Isn't that neat? I really like that look. Oh, I was just reading your comment, Carol. You're casing my Peaceful Deer card from last year. Oh, cool. I'm glad you like it. Always love to hear people like my stuff well enough to case it. That's a big compliment. Okay, so now I've got this all sponged with the crumb cake ink. I'm going to grab a piece of crumb cake here, and this is that gingham. You can use whichever side you want if you get my kit. And this is the one I decided to use. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try this one. Get a totally different look from my original card. And I'll show you my original here real quick too. But when you do the card kit, you'll be getting the one with the real red card base and the garden green. Oops. DSP. Get that going again. There we go. So we're going to put this right here, right across the bottom. Actually, I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. And grab my silicone mat. I'm going to put a little bit of seal on each end. I love this black and white gingham. I think it's not available right now, but it should be real soon. I know they've got planning on a shipment coming in. But I love this ribbon. And don't worry, I've got plenty of it for people that order from me by Friday. And if you came in a little late, you can watch the recording when I talk about the my card class at home that I'm doing here. So we've got this here. Probably even recap a little bit at the end. And one of these cards is going to be a fun fold card. So I'm going to be doing that one last. It's a real easy fun fold. I think you'll like it. Oops, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to have to cut. This is a real red card base. I need that card base folded before I start putting that stuff on there. Okay. Now I can go ahead and put this on like so. And, oops, I almost forgot. We need to put some berries on there. So I'm grabbing my real red ink pad, excuse me. And I'm going to put some right here, here. Not going to keep them exactly spaced the same. It's a wreath. We want it to look a little more natural. There, that even made it look even better, didn't it? It's neat when you can just add just a very little bit and it changes the whole look of the card. Okay, let's see here and get that out of the way. Now we can put this on the card base. I'm going to grab my black dimensionals. You can definitely use the white ones. Oop, this one's not coming off right. Okay, we'll go to another one. There we go. But when you use dark cardstock, it's nice to be able to have these dark dimensionals. For some reason, a couple of these are stuck to my backing. There we go. And I think I'll put one here in the middle. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Take your pick tool. Scoop these off. Oh, come on. There we go. And this one is just going to go right here in the middle. Like so. Isn't that neat? Now, I thought it needed a little something else. So I'm going to be using the basic rhinestone jewels. Now, these are what you'll get if you bump your order up to a $55 order before shipping and tax. You'll get this whole pack for free. And the list of products I said you needed to have, I'm going to use the dark real red Stampin' Blend. And I'm going to use one of the small ones up here. And while it's still just in the package, I'm going to color this. This is about another really neat thing you can do with blends. And I'm making a red rhinestone. Now, we do have red rhinestones. I almost did that. But then when I was doing a fall card, I thought, ooh, we're going to want different colors. So there it is, all red. It just takes a little bit to dry. So this alcohol-based ink, it dries pretty quick. So I can take that right off, put that right in the middle. And we've got the front of the card done. Isn't that neat? And you could definitely use a bigger Merry Christmas if you wanted to fit there. That's actually what I did with my first one, but I still think that looks pretty. Okay, now I'm going to do the inside of the card quick. Get this back in here. And yes, I'll give you the cardstock to do the inside of the card too if you order from me. And I'm going to take this wreath again. And I'm just going to put a partial wreath down here. I want to still have plenty of room for other things to write greeting up at the top. And now I'm going to take this and put it there. And then put a few berries there. We want it to match our wreath from the front. So that looks pretty good. So now it just looks like we have a partial wreath there. And now we can put this on the inside of the card. So I don't usually do a ton of stuff on the inside because we want to have plenty of room to write something to somebody. But I like to have a little something in there so it coordinates with the outside. And another option you could do, if you really like the edges sponged here, you could sponge the edges of this too if you wanted to. So that is the first card for my card class at home. Hope you like that one. Now I need to go grab something real quick. I have been doing so good, and today I had to go get something twice. So we've got the first card done. Now I'm going to grab, let's see here if I can get hold of it. Here is the other Christmas card. Like I said, I'm going to be doing the fun fold that's a fall card last. This is going to be everything you get in your kit, except this is going to look a little smaller, but I wanted to show you how I did that. So the other dice set I'm using, and I'll be using this on this card and the next card, is our Stylish Shapes dies. Use these all the time. And this is the one that I used to do that one. And then this one here is the largest square die in the set. So that's what I did here. So this is everything that comes in the kit, and you'll get 2 of each to make your 2 cards. Let me get some of this out of the way. And this is also embossed with the, I can't remember the name of this one, the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. So it's going to be embossed for you. I just thought that looked really good. This is a good one for Christmas, I think. So I'm going to put this over here to the side. Let's grab, try to see. There's not much stamping on this one, so let's go ahead and get the stamping done real quick. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm using the Merry Christmas again. But since it's so small, I thought that banner was just way too big. So I'm going to stamp my Merry Christmas over here a little bit. I don't know why it's curling up on me. Hopefully I stamp it good. Oh, that's not too bad. And then I'm going to show you how to shorten that up here in just a minute. I will already have it shortened up for you, so don't worry about that. But I wanted to show you how to do it in case you ever want to do it yourself. So like I said, that's all the stamping for that card. Let's grab this. This is a piece of pear pizzazz for the card base. Get this all folded. And then let's go ahead and grab this. I'm going to put a piece of, this one is the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. This is such pretty paper. This actually came out last year. But I was so glad it came back again. I've actually used it a few times. I think this was in my class this was in my class last month. My card club, last month. I liked it so well, I used it for a card club. So now we've got that on there. This is a piece of the Real Red. There's a pack that's called Real Red and Garden Green Ribbon Combo Pack. So it's got a roll of the Real Red, and it's got a roll that looks exactly the same as this, but it's garden green. So I'm going to get some adhesive on each end. Wrap this around here. And then once we get the ribbon on here, I'm going to put it on the card base. Whenever you want to wrap ribbon, it is so easy to attach the base piece and forget to put the ribbon on. So that's why I always make a big deal saying, now that the ribbon's on, get this on here, because I have done that so many times. If it's something that I've messed up a few times, I try to make sure you guys don't make that same mistake. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. Put that to the side. Now I'm going to put my wreath together here. Grab my silicone mat again. Let's go put that to the side. Now, let me show you the dies again. There are 2 dies, this one and this one, that I use, and they are different. This one is a little wider, and this is the one that's a little wider. I didn't realize this until I started making the card yesterday. So it's got like a little area right here in the center that don't have any leaves. And this I'm going to put right on here. It just kind of makes it fuller, okay? So I'm going to grab, excuse me, my multi-purpose glue. I'm just going to put a little bit right along this center section, the one that's wide. I'm not putting on a ton. I don't want it real thick because the line on across this one isn't very thick itself. So we don't want a lot of glue sticking out. I'm going to try to alternate the leaves from the top one to the bottom one. So kind of put them in between, making sure I'm covering up that glue. Hold that down a few seconds. With multi-purpose glue, you just always want to hold that down so it takes hold. If you don't put pressure on it, it's not going to stay on. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just use my glue again. Go around here. Now, this side, it's not as bad if I make it a little thicker, because I don't want it falling off of my card base. So, well, normally I would have put this on the parapet's ass square, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now since I don't want my glue drying. So this is going to go right here in the middle. And while we've got it flat, I'm going to go ahead and get some adhesive on here. And we'll put it on this parapet's ass square. And one thing I want to show you that's kind of neat, since I don't have any of the leaves glued down, it's just that center section, I can, now that it's on here, I can kind of flip some of these up and give it some dimension. The ones on the bottom, see, this even have 2 layers in each leaf. So this little narrow border will come up if I want it to, and the bottom leaf can stay down, or whichever way I want to do it. So I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of play around with it until some of them are flipped up. So that's why I didn't put any dimensionals on this, because I was going to have some dimension. It was going to be popping up the leaves. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it makes it look really full. Now I'm going to grab the bow, and this time I decided to put the bow up here on the top. So I'm going to put, since I've got my glue out, I'll just go ahead and do the glue. Put some there in the middle. And stick it right there. Hold that down for a few seconds until it takes hold. Go ahead and put this on the card base. I'll probably have to flip up some of those leaves again. Probably smashed a few of them. No, they're up pretty good. They're still doing pretty good. And this is going to go the top center. Kind of move that ribbon over so it looks straight. That looks pretty good. Isn't that wreath pretty? I really like that. I like the stamped wreath, and I also like the die cut one that's just die cuts. Okay, now it needs berries, doesn't it? So we're going to grab, or I'm going to grab the rhinestones. And this time I'm going to use the large ones. I'm going to grab my real red, the dark one of my Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to do, I look at my original 5 of these. So if you place that $55 order, you're going to have a lot of rhinestones left over. Because you're only going to need 10 of the big ones, 2 of the little ones, and then, let's see, 9 of the medium-sized ones, which is what I'm going to use on the next one. So you're going to still have tons of rhinestones left over. Okay, then I'm going to grab, take your pick tool. Let's bring the card back in. And these really have dried already. It really dries that quick. And I'm going to put one right down here at the bottom center. And we'll put one right up here near the top. Let's do another one here near the top. And I'll put one in between these 2 and one in between these 2. Okay? Excuse me. And let's go ahead and do the inside of the card, and then I will show you how I shorten that banner. This is the piece of basic white for the inside. And I'm not going to do any stamping on this one. Oh, there we go. Couldn't find my paper. I covered it up. Oops. Here's another piece of that Painted Christmas. It's a narrow piece. And then there's a real red piece here that's just a little bit wider, so I can have a little mat around this. Get that going right across here. And then I'll put this across the bottom. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border down here at the bottom. I just kind of like that look. And then I will put it right inside the card. So these cards don't take too long, especially when I do the die cutting for you. Okay, now let me show you this little trick. I'm going to get my little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out here. Get these ink pads moved out of the way. You can't see them, but they're kind of in my way. There we go. And for die cutting with the little guy, we do this plate here and one of the standard cutting plates. And then I'm going to grab this and like bring it up closer to you so you can see what I'm going to do. They're little bitty cutting blades that make the little dots so it looks stitched. Can you see that stitched border around there? Okay. This is going to go on here. I'm kind of sliding it. That looks pretty good for the length. So I'm moving it. Oh, I've actually already got it. See, if I go one more stitch, that's a little too close. So I'm going to go back out again. It actually is locked into place. I can feel that all these little blades here are fitting inside the ones that are on there. So I'm going to lay this down, put the standard cutting plate on top, and this is going to shorten this banner completely. Well, hi, Jeanne. Glad you're here. And here is my shortened banner. I've done this before in live, so some of you have seen me do that, but I love that. And this one, actually, I think that would be cute for another like nice little arrow type thing. So I'm going to hold on to that because I could probably use that on another card. And tell you what I'll do in the card kit, I will shorten that for you. I'll also include this one too in case you want to use it. So you'll get the full banner, but I'll cut it down for you just because I know you may not have that die set. But that, oh good, I'm glad you need some ideas, Jean, I mean. I did one just before this. Next card's going to be a fall card, so you can watch the beginning of the video if you missed that one. But the Stylish Shapes dies, these right here, these are part of the sale. So these are 20% off until Friday. So if you haven't gotten these yet, I highly suggest getting them. They are so nice. I use them all the time, and I mean that. Same with the deckled rectangles. These two are probably the two die sets I use the most, because I ended up using them on these cards. And these are all both of these are 20% off. Oh, and one little tidbit I forgot to say. You know how we've got our bundles and you save 10% if you bundle them together? Any bundles in the annual catalog, it's actually cheaper to buy the stamp set individually and then buy the die set individually, because the stamps are 15% off and the dies are 20% off. So you're going to save a lot more money if you put both item numbers down instead of the bundle number. But that's just until Friday. After Friday, you'll want to do the bundle again. I want to make sure you knew that. I want to save you some money. So we've got this. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. Since it's kind of small, I think I'm going to use my minis. If you've only got the big size, the regular size dimensionals, you can cut them in half or use the borders around them, and that'll make them so they're small enough. The regular size one's just a little bit too big for that banner. I'm going to take the backings off here, and we'll put this Merry Christmas right here. So we're done with the second card already. This is going quick. So we've got that one. Now we're ready for my fall fun fold card. So let me grab the kit you'll get if you order from me. Piece of pumpkin pie, piece of white. This one is done with the largest circle die in that Stylish Shapes dies. Another piece of that cottage gingham ribbon. I think it's cottage gingham. I never remember the name of this one. Gingham cottage. I got those mixed up. You'll get a little square piece this time. This is going to be a stamped bow, and it's too hard for me if I die cut a bow to have to stamp on it. So you'll get this square. If you've got the set but don't have the dies or whatever you have, you can stamp a bow or whatever you want to do here and fussy cut it out. But I'll give you that to make your bow. Okay, the circle we are going to be stamping on. So I'm going to show you the stamping first quick, and then I'll show you how to do the card base, which will be a fun fold. Where did I put there we go. Need my Stampin' Pierce mat. And this is why I had to go get my cart. I needed my chamois. because I'm going to be using this one again, but I'm not doing it in green, so I need to get that cleaned off. So I'm going to use, and you could definitely, since Yana was saying she needs some holiday card ideas, if it's Christmas, you can actually change this to Christmas if you wanted to. You could just use one of the red or green gingham papers and change the colors up. But I wanted to make a fall one. This would be a good Thanksgiving one. So I'm just going to use that vine one. Here, I need to stand up since I want to get it right in the center of that circle. So I'll put this right here. It'll be close to the center. It's okay if it's not perfect, because we're going to be adding some stamped image to this, and we can kind of make it wider in places. Now I'm going to grab, where'd it go? This leaf stamp right here. So all of these stamps I'm using are from the Cottage Wreath stamp set. I'm not using any other stamp set. Oh, thanks, Becky. I'm glad you liked the card. Now I'm using So Saffron. And to make this fuller, I'm just going to stamp here. And I'm going to kind of overlap them just a little bit. So my stem is actually up in the leaves of my first one. Just kind of go around like this. This is the first time I've made a fall leaf with this. And I was happy with how it turned out. Now there's a little bit of space here. I'm fine with overlapping that. So there we go. Now we've got that wreath going so far. We're not done yet. I wanted to add some leaves. So I'm doing the pumpkin pie. I'm just going to randomly do some here. So we've got some here. And this is, I'm going to have a bow up here. So I'm going to kind of have to come over here and have them going down this way. And this one doesn't matter which way they're going. You know what? I think I'm even going to put a little bit right here. There we go. So that's what the fall wreath is going to look like. Love adding all those colors. I still love fall colors so much. Okay, now I'm going to grab my little square and come here. My bow. This time I'm going to use the bow that's a stamp instead of just the die cut. I decided to go with a brown bow. First I was going to do pumpkin pie, and I thought that was probably going to be too much pumpkin. And the same with the So Saffron. So that's why I decided to go with the brown one. And let's see, what other stamping do we need to do? Oh, we can grab the inside of the card here. Now, I'm only going to stamp one thing on here right now, because the other thing we're going to have to stamp, we have to wait till we get the card put together. So I thought I'd just put a couple leaves down here in the bottom right corner, like so. And let's see here. Okay, we'll put this to the side and try to think what I want to do next. Oh, let's go ahead and die cut that bow out. So I'll bring in my little guy here again. Get my dies out. And this will be the bow when I use this time. Put this right on here. Let me stand up again. There we go. If you're at an angle, it's hard to tell if you've got it on there good. We'll run this through. And here's our bow. Oh, and that tape is Post-it tape for those of you that haven't watched my videos before. There we go. I'll put those in my little dish here so I don't lose them. And now, you know what? I'm going to hurry up and close these. I don't know about you. When I keep ink pads open, I end up placing something like a piece of cardstock on it or something and have a big blotch on it. And I don't want that to happen. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do the card base. So this is a half sheet long ways. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the measurements on this part of it. I'm going to be scoring, so get this all the way down. So the long side, I want to do at 5.5. Just score that a few times. And now this helps me out. I'm going to fold this because we're going to be cutting off half of this. And sometimes it's hard to remember which side you want to cut off. So this is the front of the card. This is the part I want to cut off. So this is my top. So I'm going to keep my hand over here. So that way I know this is the side. I'm going to line this up at 2 inches. Now I want my cutting blade. And I'm going to cut all the way down to the score line and stop. Now there are some lines right here in the blade casing. So I just line those lines up right at that score line and stop. Okay. Now I'm going to line the score line up here. And then come down and stop right where they come together. Good. And there we go. And this is going to be our barn door. So that is it. And this can be used on something else. But that's actually the base of our barn fold. Let me get my microphone back into place here. So I'm going to grab a piece of that gingham cottage ribbon paper. And you can use whichever side. I liked the bigger one for this card. And then I'm going to put this right here in the center of this flap. There we go. Almost couldn't see it. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Oops. Because I'm going to be stamping a greeting up in the top left corner. But I needed to have this flap down, so I did it in the right place. And also I think I'm going to attach the wreath circle on before I stamp anymore. So we've got that ready to go. Let's go ahead and put the bow on, I think. Yep. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on here. I think I'll stick it right there. Now, I forgot something. It is a good thing. I just wanted to show you this neat tip. Not really, I forgot. Our seal, you can actually lift it up about the first 10 minutes or so. There we go. So I'm going to be able to put this back down again. I forgot to wrap my ribbon. Remember, I told you that earlier? I still did it. So this is the, which one is this one? I can never remember the name of this one either. The natural woven ribbon. It is so light and easy to work with. I love this ribbon. So this is the longer piece. You get 2 in your pack. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive. Well, see if I can get my adhesive going. Actually, I think I'm going to it's going to be easier because this is really thin. And sometimes when it's thin, it doesn't attach to the ribbon real well. So I'm going to put a strip of adhesive on each end. And because this ribbon is so light, I'm okay with wrapping it around. A lot of times I would rather wrap it around cardstock because the DSP is kind of thin. But this works just fine. It's not going to be too tight on it. I love this color too, Becky. It's pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of the ribbon again. I think I'll put a little bit more here just to make sure it's still sticky enough because I've touched it with my hands a few times so the oils in my hands can make the adhesive not be as strong. Now we can put this down. There we go. And I'm going to take this piece here, kind of put it underneath the first ribbon, and I'm just going to tie it on with a single knot. You can do a double knot if you want to. I think a single knot, you can keep that knot a little fatter. And this way, too, you can kind of scoot it down if you need to. And I will cut those ends in just a minute. I think I'm going to put my wreath on first. And I wanted it popped up, but the trick is you don't want to put any adhesive on the top of the wreath back here, because then that's going to close that and it's not going to have the barn door effect anymore. So I'm going to turn this around, making sure I've got my finger up here where the bow's at, so I remember where the top is at. So there, so now I've got that in the top, in the right spot. I'm going to grab my regular dimensionals. I'm going to put one here at the bottom center, and then I will put one just a little below center. The center is probably more up here. I'm bringing it down just a little bit. There we go. That should be enough. Take the paper backings off. And then I'm going to lightly lay this down. I'm not going to push it down just yet, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Put that underneath my ribbon. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to put this over. Okay, good. I don't see any dimensionals, so I know it's in a good spot. So now I'll push them down. I wanted them on there lightly in case I needed to move it. Now we're going to do a little more stamping, and then this one's going to be done. So bring this back in. I'm going to be using the Some People Just Make Life Better and my Early Espresso ink pad. And I will stamp that top left corner. And I could just stop it there, but I decided to use my grateful stamp to let them know I'm grateful for them too. And I'm going to use pumpkin pie instead. Thought I'd add a little color to my greeting. Put it below it. There we go. So that is my fall barn door. There we go. Barn door fun fold. So there's the inside. So let me bring all the cards back in. Get this out of the way. There we go. So these are my 3 cards for my first free online class. Hope you enjoyed it and had fun. And remember, if you want to get the card kit to make all of these cards, so it'll be all the card stock that you saw me get out. You'll get everything. And I do not include the rhinestones, except if you place a $55 order. If you place a $55 order, then you get the whole pack of the rhinestones to use on your cards. And if you just do the base $40 order, then you'll get the cards and you can just use different embellishments that you have on hand. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Like I said, everybody that comments during the live and if you're watching the recording will get put in a drawing to get all 3 of these cards already made for you. So that's another way you can get one of each anyway, and they're already made for you. If you order from me between now and Friday, you'll get all of the supplies. Like I said, $40 order will get you all the card supplies to make 2 each of the cards. If you bump it up to $55, you get, with using my host code, you will get also the rhinestone basic jewels added. Oh, hi, Carla. I'm glad you're here. It was good seeing you Saturday. Sunday. Fun. I'm getting all my days mixed up. It was good to see you Sunday. And then this is a list of everything that you need, like the ink colors and things like that. That is not provided. But like I said, there is a link below. I don't expect you to memorize that. But you can look in that link below and click on it, and they'll give you all the information. And don't forget about that seasonal sale while you're placing that order. So many things on sale in the annual catalog, and I'll be taking advantage of that myself. Don't you? Oh, yeah, definitely. This is a great sale. 10% off punches, 15% off all the stamps except for the host stamps, 20% off dies, 20% off embossing folders, and 20% off non-specialty designer papers. And it also it excludes the assortment ones that are like the color families, like the Regals collection, the In Color collection, those. But the rest of them are on sale. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Let me get my YouTube chat back up in case I'm missing any more chats. Oh, thanks, Judy. I'm glad you liked the cards. Glad you guys stayed for the whole video. And like I said, I will let you know if I do go live next week. But I know all of us are going to be super busy with Thanksgiving, so I probably will take next Tuesday off. But I'll be back the following Tuesday with another live. So thanks for watching. And if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're watching on Facebook, if you'd like to see any of my recorded videos, the free videos I have, just click the subscribe button below if you're watching on YouTube, or go to my YouTube channel, which I'll have a link to that here in a minute in my video description, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And click on that little bell icon that pops up and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I do a video, and you won't miss anything. Okay, I think that's it. So I won't be seeing you next week, so I hope you guys will have a great Thanksgiving. Remember, I'm so thankful for so many things, and I hope you are too. And just have a great holiday. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.